Hi, good afternoon. This is Tracy from Cava and Gava, and I'm really pleased to welcome you to another one of our expert interviews. Today, we are speaking with Craig Cannings. Craig is an internet entrepreneur and online consultant, online learning consultant, who's been doing this for the past 10 years. And I think I joined VA Classroom almost 10 years ago, so that's cool. Craig has built a variety of online training companies from scratch. In 2008, he launched the startup VAClassroom.com, which has become the premier online training center for virtual assistants from around the world. Craig's had the privilege of designing and delivering high-impact training courses to over 10,000 students in 40 countries, and has consulted with 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and large organizations on how to build profitable online courses, training programs, and teaching platforms. Craig resides just outside of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, with his wife Kelly and their 5 young princesses. That's just crazy. Today, Craig is going to talk to us about the 6 tracks to your virtual assistant success. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Craig. Welcome.
Yeah, well, it's great to be with you, Tracy. And I know you're right, we've known each other for a while. And I know that you have been an active student at VA Classroom for a lot of years. And it's just...
I have. Actually, whenever I first realized that I was a VA, which is a lot of, how some of us get into it, and they say, oh, that's what I do. And I realized that my market was not viable. The people that I was working with just couldn't pay me. I found VA Classroom and got internet marketing certified. And that was how I knew that, internet marketing people were going to need me. So it's been an amazing resource. I've shared it with a lot of people over the years, and we're happy to have you. So.
Oh, great. Good. Well, I look forward to talking about this topic. This is just some brand new, a brand new sort of system that I've set up at VA Classroom, and I look forward to kind of walking through these 6 tracks to what I call virtual assistant success and freedom. So let's dive right into it. So many of you may be at different places in your business right now. Some of you may be like Tracy, where you've been a VA forever, and 10 years on the internet is forever by definition. It's a long time. It's different than the brick and mortar world. You may be an experienced VA, you may be just starting off or just kind of getting your feet wet. Maybe you've just landed your first client. Wherever you find yourself, the formula for success really doesn't change. What we found in training many, many VAs is that success really comes down to 3 things. Developing the right skills so that you can offer the right kind of services at the right time. And Tracy echoed that a bit with, when she started to tap into internet marketing, that opened up a whole new opportunity. And the timing, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, was significant, because that's where we saw a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses outsourcing and looking for VAs to do the VAs that had internet marketing skills. Today, the industry's grown substantially. So there's a lot of businesses looking for VAs that have a whole variety of skills, one of them being internet marketing. But timing is really, in business and in life, timing's really important, that you are developing the right kind of skills so that you can offer the most current services at the right time. And probably the 4th one I'd add is to the right kind of clients as well. So that we're going to kind of revisit this in a few moments, but want to introduce you to one of our students and one of our mentors at VA Classroom. Her name is Jennifer Brosnan. She's from Australia. She came to us about 3 years ago, and she's got a whole slew of awesome skills, as many of you do, because obviously you didn't start in your career as a VA. You came from probably a variety of different careers and have developed all sorts of skills. Well, Jennifer had 20 years in project management, worked in corporate for a lot of years, became a student of VA Classroom just over 2 years ago, and she caught this passion for social media. Yes, she had a Facebook account, and she was spending probably too much time on Pinterest and doing those sort of things, but she didn't realize this passion for helping businesses and clients to do, managing their social media, until she got into the courses and started to realize this was an incredibly good niche for her. And so, interestingly enough, she, as she got into this and started to build her social media VA business, she discovered this opportunity to offer social media services and support to long-term care and seniors facilities. And she's become almost like the go-to virtual assistant for all sort of senior facilities throughout Australia. And she has many of these clients. It's become this big referral sort of system for her. So very specialized. So she's got these specialized social media skills, offering it to a very target audience. And now she's speaking at an upcoming conference. And this all happened in a span of probably 24 to 36 months. And so it's very cool to see how someone like Jennifer, she's drawing on all these great skills, these transferable skills she has from the past. She's learning some new current skills, and she's tapping into something that she's really excited about. And these are the kind of stories, we get a lot of these stories actually at VA Classroom, and it excites us to see people finding their passion and creating these really cool opportunities for them. And you may be doing that in your business, or may desire to do that in your business. And so what about you? Let's talk, let's talk a bit about you and your business right now. What track is your business on right now? And some of you might say, Craig, it's off track right now. It's not going anywhere. I feel like I'm stuck. Others might be on a really awesome track, and you've had a great year and you're excited about the new year in your business. So I know all of you are probably at different places. And I guess the question is, are you looking for a new track, or are you looking for a new opportunity? There might be some of you that have been doing the same kind of services for a little while, and you're finding maybe they're getting a little outdated. Maybe there's not as much demand. Maybe you're just tired of it. You don't like the work anymore. And you're like, how do I spice things up a little bit in my business? And one of the ways you do that is by moving into a new niche, opening up a new service, creating some new skills where there is opportunity. So that's really at the heart of what we're going to talk about today, as I walk you through what I would say are the 6 most popular and even profitable tracks for VAs to pursue in 2017. Okay. And, Tracy probably could add other ones, but this really does encompass what I would say is the best income opportunities for VAs. So before we do that, I want to kind of unpack take you through a little sort of exercise here. So if you were on this path towards, building this great VA business for yourself, where you've achieved everything that you'd hoped for and creating this virtual at-home business, the way to get there requires a few steps. First of all, you're going to draw, when you start a VA business, as many of you have, you're going to draw from all of your work and life experience. Similar to what Jennifer did, her project management skills has made her a very effective social media manager as well. So you're going to draw from all your work and all the experiences you've had in your life. You're also going to draw from your unique skills and abilities. Each one of you comes to the VA business with a skill set that there might be some similarities with some of you, and then you might have your own unique skill sets and abilities. Maybe you are a spreadsheet guru. Maybe you are a skilled project manager. Maybe you're an effective communicator. You write really well, both written and verbal, have excellent written and verbal communication. Maybe you're great at designing presentations, or you love technology and will, soak up any new app or tool that you can get your hands on. All of you come with sort of this unique blend of skills, and they're very much to be utilized in your VA business. So that's a part of your success, is just drawing on what you already have, because within you and what you've built up in yourself, you've got a lot of the ingredients to being super successful. The next one is your personal qualities. So these are the characteristics that make you. You could be maybe you have a bubbly, fun personality. Maybe you are just have incredible attention to detail, that you are an editor and you do writing work and editing work for clients, and you don't miss anything. We have actually a VA on our team that I would call her my senior editor. Not that I'm running the New York Times or anything, but she is our senior editor, and she edits every piece of content that goes out to all our courses and all our presentations. And she is ridiculously good at what she does, because she has incredible attention to detail. Even my wife, who's my business partner, has really good writing and editing skills, and she can't believe the things that Jenna, her name is, will pull out of a document. I, for one, don't have good attention to detail, which is why we hired someone to help me. So what's the gap? What's the gap here? So you've got your qualities, your unique skills, your work and life experience, but what are we missing here? Well, one of the elements, and going back to sort of Jennifer's example, one of the things that Jennifer found was that, yes, she had these skills, but in order for her to become marketable as a successful VA, she had to figure out what does she want to do, and then what do clients need? What are they needing right now? And that's where I fill it in with what I call in-demand VA or virtual assistant specializations or tracks. So how do you take what you have and develop some skills in those specializations that are really in demand or hot right now, in order to create a great business? So that's really what we're going to talk about, is that gap. I know you all have great skills and abilities and come with all sorts of unique qualities, but let's talk about the tracks that will kind of propel you forward in your business. Now, before I do that, have a look at this sample client project. Quite often at VA Classroom, we get a fair amount of requests from entrepreneurs and small business owners looking for virtual assistants. And this was one that came in just recently, actually going back maybe a couple months. And this was the breakdown of skills that they were looking for. And just to highlight it really quickly for you, they were looking for a VA to help them with the admin side of their online courses. So they had an online course platform using Rainmaker, and they needed some support there. To manage their WordPress site, to learn how, or already it would be good if they already knew how to use ConvertKit, which is an email sort of list management tool. Formatting docs in Word, helping them manage their Facebook group. So you'll see here, if you look at these, they're quite diverse. You might look at this and say, well, Craig, I'm only 2 of 5 there. Maybe I wouldn't be suitable for that client. Well, let's come back to this. We're going to come back to this job description after I unpack a few of the tracks. Now, you'll see on the bottom the qualities listed: efficient, self-starter, fast learner, organized, clear communicator. That's all. When we go back to this pathway here, that's all the yellow or the orangey part here. That's all the qualities that make you successful, make you an asset to clients. But the part up here, the WordPress skills, the Facebook management, group management skills, all of that, being able to use ConvertKit, that falls into this area here, the black area. Okay, so when you bring the two together, that helps you to become potentially, well qualified to do work with a client like this. And again, I recognize I pulled this one out because I knew that they were offering a whole diversity. They were looking for sort of a diversity of skills and abilities, but we'll come back to this client project here in a couple moments. Now, a quick exercise for you, as using Jennifer Brosnan as our kind of case example today. As I said, she got into social media because she really enjoyed it. She loved doing the work for clients, realized she had some skill sets there, took our training. We have a social media specialist program, took our 10 module program and got even more equipped and skilled. And that got her ready to build, which is now a very successful social media VA business. But what about you? If you were to do this exercise, and this 3-circle sort of image here is what we call a Venn diagram, a VENN diagram. So what I would encourage you to do, whether you pause this or do it after you watch all this, but grab a piece of paper and draw 3 big circles that intersect in the middle. With the first one, asking yourself, what tasks or projects do you love to do? Maybe you love research, maybe you love spreadsheeting, maybe you love all things marketing and PR, or maybe you like writing, maybe you like working with Infusionsoft, whatever that might be. Write down all of your interests and passions. This kind of side question I would ask you after you've done that, when you look at all those passions that you've laid out in terms of, work interests and things like that, I would then encourage you to circle the ones that you are actively doing every week. So circle them. And you'll find this kind of revealing, because if you're doing work right now and you realize that there's nothing really to circle based on the work and the services you provide, you're not really doing anything that you're interested in or passionate about, that's where it becomes a major concern, in terms of the longevity of your VA business, because you might be getting burnt out. You may just be lacking desire to do those tasks anymore. So So go through all the interests and then ask yourself, what am I doing every week? Because in order to have a successful long-term business like Tracy has had, you've got to kind of enjoy the work. You have to get to a place where you're doing things that you enjoy. It doesn't mean you do every single thing you do every week you enjoy, but you certainly have to have a percentage of it that is meaningful and that kind of fires you up, fills you up. Okay, so interests and passions. The second circle is skills and abilities. This is where you kind of answer the question, what would people say I'm really good at? I'm skilled at. People around me, when they look at me, what would they say? What are those areas that I'm skilled at and I'm knowledgeable at? And then the third one that goes with this is the in-demand niches or niches. So what specializations offer fast-growing and in-demand opportunities for VAs right now? So this is where you take your interests, you match it up with the transferable skills and experiences you have, and you match it with a specialization that's in demand. In other words, clients need help in this area. When you bring those three together, it's kind of like magic. It works because you're finding opportunity, you're doing things you love, and you're drawing upon skills that you have. Now, hear me correctly. You don't have to come to a new niche with a whole slew of skills related to that. You certainly can get trained in that. For sure, but it's good to do this exercise to really assess the best opportunities for you. So for the rest of our time today, we're going to camp on that. I don't even know if you'd call it a green circle, whatever that color is, but we're going to focus on those niches. So let's talk about what I would say is the top 6 most in-demand VA tracks or specializations. You can call them niches if you want, or from the States, you can call them niches. But let's unpack them. And you can't really see this diagram very well. And I will actually make sure that Tracy has the PDF guide that goes along with the 6 tracks, which actually is this visual sort of graphic that you can look at. That it's about a 7-page document that you'll find very helpful, that you could print out and review them closer. So make sure that Tracy has a copy of that for all of you. But this is the 6 tracks. They're basically are as follows: social media marketing, internet marketing. You could make an argument that those two are one and the same, but we're going to separate them because social media, I know many VAs that their whole business is just social media. Yes, they might do some email marketing and they might do some other things, content marketing, but very exclusively social media. Online events, virtual events could be podcasting, webinars, things like that. Content development could be editing, writing, managing content, managing the distribution of content. And then business management, and I'd probably put online business management and support. So there is the role of an online business manager, but then there's a role of all the management and support tasks that help run the business. That kind of encompasses that whole track. And then technology support. There's so many apps and tools and web technology that your clients need to power their business. And often they don't have the skills or the time to do it, which is why that's a big area. So VAs that have skills in Infusionsoft, VAs that have skills in email marketing tools, skills in landing page and web design tools like WordPress. Those are really good in-demand skills, and that's why at our university we have tracks. So we've got training in Infusionsoft, we've got training in WordPress, we've got training in email marketing tools, social media, because we recognize that this is technology that your clients are using and need support with every single day. Okay. So let's go into the track. So track number 1 is social media management. Again, there are still great opportunities for those that want to dive into this particular track. This is a statistic going back a few months, back in the early part of 2016. But what it speaks to is the sheer volume of social media users and the growth. I mean, there are 2.3 billion people that are active on social media. We recognize that your clients, it's no longer that, social media is kind of a good idea, that maybe they should consider it. For most of your clients, I shouldn't say all of them, but for most of them, social media is mandatory. It has to be a part of their bigger marketing strategy, which is why it's a good skill set for you to develop and a great track. Okay, so lots of opportunity in the area of social media management. So you could be managing platforms across LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the list goes on. And some of the tasks you might do is getting them set up for those new entrepreneurs or businesses that need a whole sort of social media setup process done. You could be setting up their profiles, designing the graphics that go in the profiles, like the photo covers in Facebook, the headers in Twitter, the headers that are in places like YouTube and places like Instagram. So the profile setup and design. And then there's the whole service of managing the community. So this could be managing Facebook groups that your clients have, all their pages. It could be, pages and profiles, blogs, if they've got a blog, managing comments and the content flow and things like that through WordPress. So that could be a part of their whole community. Content planning and scheduling, huge part. If your client has lots of content they're publishing, whether it's social media posts, blog posts, videos, podcasts, episodes, they need someone to kind of schedule them. And so it's one role you can play is kind of managing that editorial calendar for them. And then social media image editing and design. So having a basic graphic design skills as a social media VA is cool. And there are free tools like Pixlr and PicMonkey and Pablo that make it easy to quickly make an image pretty cool and enhanced. And so lots of options there. You don't have to be a sophisticated graphic designer to be able to offer that as a service. Social media advertising. I know for us in our business, Facebook ads is a big deal. For a lot of businesses, they're diving into Facebook advertising because it's a cost-effective avenue to reach a target audience. And so having skill sets in being able to manage Facebook ad campaigns or YouTube ads or promoted tweets and Twitter, that's a great skill set. Social media analytics. No longer are businesses just doing social media without giving any thought to the return on investment. They want to know how many new email leads are we generating through what we do in social media, or sales, or how are our platforms growing. You can track all that using what I call platform statistics. That's like using the statistics within the actual social media channel, like Facebook Insights. Twitter has analytics and analytics.twitter.com. You can look at how the platforms are growing. And then you can use tools like Google Analytics to track sort of return on investment, traffic to your website. You could set up goals within Google Analytics so that you know how many people are signing up for memberships or products or programs, things like that. So that's one big track is social media. Now, one of our long-term students at VA Classroom is Sabrina. Sabrina has been with us for a lot of years. When she first came to us, she had one client. She just started her VA business. She had one client. She got trained in social media through us. And now today, just recently talking with her, she has over 20 social media accounts that she manages every month. Keeps her pretty busy. And so she does WordPress design as well, but she really focused a lot of her efforts on social media. And so when you come to her website, very prominently, that's her tagline: we post your social media. That's what we do. Okay. Track number 2 is internet marketing support. And lots to be done there. You could be helping your clients set up a marketing strategy, setting up their funnels, online funnels, and setting up all their marketing pages. That could be sales pages, opt-in boxes, confirmation pages, order pages. All of this might not be something you're at all familiar with, but there's great opportunity for VAs that understand internet marketing and the strategy of it and the funnels that you can set up for your client. And when I say funnels, you might be thinking, well, what does that mean? A funnel, basically, if you think of pouring oil into your car, initially you've got this wide open funnel at the top, wide open area at the top. And that's in the internet world, that's the traffic that's coming to your website. But once they come to your website, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to download a free ebook? Do you want them to join your free 7-day course? That's when you start to create these funnels. So when someone opts in for my course, they're moving into one of our funnels that's leading them towards purchasing a product or buying a program or joining a membership, whatever that might be. That's what a funnel is. So you could be managing all their content marketing, so scheduling out their blog posts, distributing and uploading their videos to places like YouTube and Facebook video, syndicating their podcast episodes through places like iTunes or Stitcher, tools like that, scheduling out social media posts through tools like Buffer or Hootsuite. So those are social media scheduling tools. So managing content marketing, managing and supporting online product launches. This is a big sort of sub niche within internet marketing right now, is the ability to help a client manage and support them in the logistics of launching a product. Here at VA Classroom, with our university, we now launch 3 times a year, and we have people supporting us in our big launches, because it requires a lot of moving parts. And so if you're a great project manager, you probably would do well in a role like that, managing a product launch. Email marketing and list management. We have VAs in our community that they've just specialized. I have one VA gets a ton of work, and all she specializes in is setting up MailChimp for clients, setting up and managing their MailChimp, their activities. So there's lots of opportunity there. A new one actually is not relatively new, is ConvertKit. A lot more businesses, including us, even at VA Classroom, have made the switch over to ConvertKit because it's a really awesome tool, and that's a great skill to have. One of the things to being successful as a VA is being able to spot trends. When you see a new tool or you see a new opportunity of people needing support in a certain area, you can kind of dive into it and capitalize on it. Affiliate marketing and management. So this is working with your clients to support their affiliate program. So they may have a bunch of partners and affiliates that promote their products. You might be the go-between, or the person that sends out the marketing materials, or that manages the stats and things like that. Keyword research and SEO, or search engine optimization. This is the whole process of helping your clients improve their rankings in Google for keywords, so that they're getting more free, what we call free organic or natural traffic from Google. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than getting free traffic, targeted free traffic from Google. And so doing ongoing keyword research and making sure your clients are inserting those keywords into their content, into their blog posts, into things like their video descriptions, all of that helps them to get visible to their target audience in the search engines. And then analytics and tracking, using tools, as I mentioned earlier, like Google Analytics, where they can track and analyze the behavior. What happens when someone arrives at their site? What are their most popular pages on their site? What is the user doing? So all of these are actually like 7 or 8 services built into one mega service. So you might choose to offer just email marketing support, or maybe you're more into content or product launches, or you see value in getting skilled and developing skills in all those areas, so you can really provide a more broad internet marketing service to clients. That is track number 2. Janice Holber is a longtime student here at VA Classroom, and she is actually one of our mentors in our university. And a couple of years ago, she made the switch to internet marketing. And now when I look at Janice's site, I think this next slide here, one of her services is actually to set up marketing funnels. 2 years ago, Janice probably couldn't have told you what a marketing funnel is. Now she's obviously taken training with us, and she's done a lot of learning herself, and she now sets up marketing funnels for clients online, and it's become a big passion area for her. And that's led to her supporting clients in their product launches as well. So again, really found her groove within internet marketing. Track number 3 is content development and management. So this could fall into a whole variety of areas. So you could help your clients manage content in their blogs, articles through places like LinkedIn Pulse or Medium, YouTube videos, presentations, maybe shared through places like slideshare.net, ebooks and PDFs, helping them format and create them, helping them manage their monthly newsletter if they have it, creating images, and even things like infographics, which are really popular these days. There's lots of free, quite a few effective free sort of image creating or infographic generating tools. Courses. I'm in the course creation business myself, and it's become super popular. So working with education-based entrepreneurs and helping them manage their courses and their content. Big deal. Like I said, we have someone dedicated just to managing all the content and editing all of it for every course, every PDF, every resource that we have. Podcasts. Within our university, we have a podcast specialist program because we recognize that more and more businesses want to set up podcasts but don't know how to do it. And so our program helps sort of from the technology setup standpoint. So those are all different types of content that your clients may be diving into or interested in and not necessarily have the skill sets to manage. So you could be helping them with strategy and planning, creating the content if you're a writer, editing it, whether it's video editing or editing copy. Transcription work might be your thing. Managing an editorial calendar, so scheduling out all this content. Publishing and optimizing the content for the search engines. We talked about in internet marketing how you might be doing keyword research. Well, that might dovetail into this track, in terms of integrating those keywords into the different content pieces that you have. And keep in mind that these tracks aren't, clearly defined. I mean, let's say there's dotted lines in between each of them. In other words, they can cross over a little bit as well. Tracking online content results. So by putting out articles and videos and podcasts, how much traffic are you generating? What results are you seeing as a result of all of this content as well? So meet Jan Volpe. Jan is a long-term student at VA Classroom. She recently moved her business. She's been in the content space. She's been a transcriptionist, writer, editor for a lot of years. Fell in love with podcasting, saw the opportunity, and created now a service specifically and a site specifically for podcasting called helpwithpodcast.com, and really enjoying doing the work in that area. And that's just one specific area within content development. Okay, so that is the third track. Moving along to the fourth track, this is virtual events management. This could be podcasting as well, webinars, live stream events through places like Facebook Live, teleseminars. There's a lot of companies that still like to run telesummits or online teleconferences, not like multi-speaker conferences through telephone technology. So those still are popular, but there's a lot of moving parts to managing and coordinating these events, and that's where you can come in. So this could be helping them set up the plan, mapping out the plan for all their events they're going to run. Event moderation, whether it's moderating their webinars, moderating the comments coming in on their Facebook Live events, helping moderate their virtual summits, whatever that might be. And then more of the content piece would be, doing the replay, editing the replay of a webinar, repurposing it and distributing it via email or other means. So a lot of that sort of, back end work that needs to be done once a live event is finished. That could be a service. Creating and producing screencast videos. So using tools like Camtasia. That's just Camtasia, Camtasia. Or for the Mac, there's a tool called ScreenFlow, F-L-O-W. These are tools where you just record your screen. You could be doing software tutorials. You could be doing presentation style tutorials. We do a lot of these at VA Classroom. This is actually a great service that you can offer clients, or even offer from even the editing standpoint. Event marketing and promotion, so getting their event out in social media, setting up a Facebook event or a LinkedIn event or other things like that. And then event tracking, tracking the number of attendees, tracking conversion rates of how many signups they had, things like that. This is a pretty big area, and we know VAs that have just specialized in doing events online. They're basically like an online event coordinator, and they do it well. Okay. So Michelle Shane, longtime friend of us here at VA Classroom, we've co-created some courses together. She started as a VA going back to maybe 2007, and she got into this technology space where she started to develop tutorials and develop screencast kind of presentations using Camtasia. Well, it became her niche. She started to get a whole variety of clients, and she was charging really good money for these packages, and got so good at it that she started to train others on how she does it. And now she has all these training programs and multiple income streams in her business. So lots of opportunity there. Track number 5 is technology support. This is one we could spend a lot of time on, but for time purposes, I'm going to really gloss over it fairly briefly here. So these are a number of the different categories of technology that you might help support your clients with. Social media management tools could be like I said, Buffer, Buffer is a social media scheduling tool, or Hootsuite, things like that. You could be in charge of managing and scheduling the content through tools like those. WordPress design and management, being able to design WordPress sites or being able to manage a blog through WordPress. E-commerce tools, setting up tools like using tools like One Shopping Cart or Infusionsoft, or if your client has an online e-commerce store, using tools like Shopify. We have students in our community that are skilled in Shopify, and they help clients set up and manage their e-commerce stores. Okay. Email marketing platforms could be MailChimp, Aweber, even tools like Infusionsoft or Entreport or ConvertKit. So helping scheduling out the emails, managing the lists, all that good stuff. Landing page design tools. This could be tools like ClickFunnels, or tools like Lead Pages or Optimize Press. They're all sort of marketing page creation tools, creating sales pages and event pages and squeeze pages. That's a great skill to have. Project management tools. So using tools like Asana, Asana, using tools like Trello, Trello, and Basecamp, Teamwork PM. The list goes on. Being able to understand how to use those tools in context with the work you do with your clients. And then final one is CRM and support tools. So you might be doing some customer support maybe for a client. So being able to use tools like Help Scout as it sounds, or Zendesk, or using CRMs like Zoho has a CRM, or Insightly. Insightly is another one. I know I'm rattling off a bunch to you. Or Basecamp has a tool called HighRise. That's another CRM. So you get a sense that there's so much technology now that powers our clients' businesses, and it's very good for us to have certain skill sets in some of the ones, especially the ones that interest us. So meet Teresa. Again, I think she was in our very first class going back to 2008 when I had 7 students in my first class. And she now has, her business has really evolved in different ways over the years, but she now is really good with technology. So she can support clients in all-in-one sort of marketing platforms like Infusionsoft or Entreport or One Shopping Cart. And she actually has done work with us. When we were using One Shopping Cart, she ran and managed and set up all of our products and programs within One Shopping Cart. She did it for like 6 years. So good, like sort of long-term service for her. Okay, so good area. The last one is online business management and support. And this one's fairly broad. There's a lot of different directions you can go. So you could be your client's point person for all their projects. So you're their pure online business manager. You direct them, you direct the projects, you direct the team. You are kind of the go-to. Set up and manage clients' business systems. Maybe their systems are fragmented and not really working very well. You could help set those up for them as well. Managing a team of contractors. Maybe your client has copywriters or designers or developers or other people that are working with them that you help manage. Possibly doing the managing billing and financing, a variety of different sort of administrative projects, doing even things like managing their email inbox and calendar, keeping them organized and on track. So there's lots of, I just glossed over a few of the many things. You could be providing customer support services as well, setting, document preparation, whole slew of things. So meet Kristen Arnold. Kristen is someone that I know well. I have Jeff Walker, some of you might know, who's the founder of the Product Launch Formula, has been a good client of mine over the years, and I've helped him on the sort of the online learning, e-learning, designing courses. Well, his go-to person, his online business manager is Kristen, and Kristen is the glue. She's the glue of the company. In other words, she is involved with all the moving parts, and she keeps everything running neatly and efficiently. And she would, as much as I would have interactions with Jeff, she was always my point of contact, the go-to on any projects that I was working on for them. So an online business manager has become a really popular role. And then there's lots of different types of support roles that fall into that business management piece as well. Okay. So as you look at those 6 tracks, social media, internet marketing, excuse me, virtual events, content development and management, online business management and support, technology support, what track fits you? You may be already on one of those tracks, but now you're looking at the other one and thinking, no, I should really be morphing into online business management, or I love technology. I should be doing more support services related to that. So be thinking about what track best resonates with you, your interests, your skill sets, your background, all of that good stuff. Okay. So going back to the sample client project that I showed you at the beginning. So we had a client that was looking for quite a diversity of skill sets. Well, as I've walked you through those 6 tracks, each of these really falls into one of the tracks. So you could look at the first one, managing courses could fall into sort of the content management piece track. You managing WordPress, certainly supporting that technology. Learning how to use ConvertKit because they're looking for you to set up autoresponders and doing email marketing. So that falls into the internet marketing track. Formatting documents in Word, obviously content development. And then the final one, help with Facebook group, that's social media. So you look at this one client project, each of them falls, each of these tasks falls quite neatly into one of those categories. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 6 tracks represented in this one RFP, or this one project request. And so that gives you an idea. If I was to show you, I could show you probably 10 or 15 of these and go through that same process, and almost all of the tasks will typically fall into one of the 6 tracks. And so that's why I'm, confident that those tracks present the best opportunities for you in your business moving forward. Okay. So again, this is the pathway we talked about. The pathway to VA success and freedom is to draw on all that you bring to the table, your skills and your experience and your qualities, looking at the tracks, the 6 tracks, and and finding your groove, finding what makes you feel, makes you feel alive, what you're passionate about, but where there is also opportunity. That's ultimately going to help you to find success in your business. So that's really the 6 tracks. I'm glad that I've been able to share this with you. I hope you found this helpful, and maybe it's even provided a bit of clarity on next steps that you might be taking. So I'm going to pass it over to Tracy and get her feedback and any questions that she might have as well.
Okay, so that was awesome, right? I think everybody who's listening can totally agree. And Craig, one of the things I love about your presentations is that you are 100% about the possibility that we have in our businesses and the opportunities that we can see by going through things like on the slide that, your work and life experience, your unique skills, your personal qualities, and how all of those things fit together, and how we can develop the opportunities for ourselves. I got a couple of flashbacks going through your tracks, because I have taken some of your training, and it's just really shocking to see how much opportunity there is for VAs to specialize in whatever they want to, right? And so I was one of the ones, I took your the virtual event management, and most definitely I specialized right down into telesummits for a long time, and was one of the go-to people. I did tons of them, and that's the thing. I didn't have to do all things virtual events, and now I've scaled back so that so many of my clients still use virtual events. They don't use the multi-model as often, but they're doing things regularly that are still considered to be virtual events. So it's really something that you can craft all the way along, and that PDF is going to be amazing for people just to get a real sense of what the possibilities are for them. And I really appreciate you speaking so articulately on that. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, you're right. And you even look at the evolution of your business, and how if you go back to that, if I just drop back to that graphic here, the reality is, where all of you are at different places, and some of you may not have a client that needs you to do anything related to webinar support, but then tomorrow you suddenly land this client that is absolutely the client you want to work with, but now they're looking for you to kind of coordinate all their events, and they run a weekly webinar, or they do things, and now you're like, well, how do I set that up? And so you're constantly going to be in this state of continual learning, where you're trying to learn new skills, sometimes on the fly, in order to best support your clients. And so I think you've seen that, Tracy, as well, is even as you go around the wheel. I mean, you've provided probably all of these different types of services, and sometimes you specialize and sometimes you move from one to the other. So again, the intention of this is not to say pick one track and stay on it for the rest of your career or business. It's like, look at these and even come back to this when you feel that you need a fresh start, or you need to consider what else you might do for clients.
Exactly. And I mean, it shows you too, maybe things that you're not looking at right now. You know, when you go to your diagram about what do you love to do, you know, I also took the internet marketing training with you, and I learned things that I would never have learned before. And I took the skills that I already had, and I took my personal qualities, and I took all of those things, and I thought, who can I help? And I settled on business coaches. And, you know, part of the training was social media. So I started with social media because internet marketing was, as you say, fairly brand new at the time. And I quickly got right out of it because I thought, this stuff changes too much. And, you know, there's no way that I can keep on top of it and do the things that I wanted to do. I was really into conversion management and that kind of thing. I love to be able to see, you know, what was working for my clients and that kind of thing. So you can really specialize as much as you want and move around. Like you say, I have a ton of training over the years, which I highly recommend anybody do, so that you can keep your business fresh. You can, you know, keep getting excited about it, and you can grow and build in the direction that you want. So it's just fantastic.
It's true. The other thing I was going to say, Tracy, is that when you look at a graphic like this, I think it's, you know, one of the questions when we've asked the question, what are the barriers that you're currently experiencing to starting or growing your business? And often we receive the comment, well, I'm lacking confidence. Like, I don't feel like I know how to do this. Or, but when someone goes through something like this, where we ask them, okay, well, let's unpack all your work and life experience. Let's look at all the skills that you have. Let's look at the great qualities that you possess. The whole point is also to try to develop their confidence, to recognize, wow, I've got a lot of the ingredients to being successful as a VA. Yes, I need to learn and I need to develop new skills, but I've got a lot of these great skills that I'm developing already. So that's why I love looking at it this way, because it's really, you know, we have helped many students along the way find their path and carve out a great niche and grow their business. But really, it's been all them. I mean, they've had all of these great skills already. Now they're realizing it, they're specializing a little bit, and they're off to the races. So
exactly. And you said it best. You right in the beginning, you said, you know, you didn't start your career as a VA. And that is one of the things that I find is the biggest stopping point, or can be the biggest stopping point for a lot of VAs. They think they don't have any experience. And so when you start with, you have 20 years, like, you know, with Jennifer, you have 20 years of project management. You have 20 years of admin. A lot of us get into being a VA in our 30s or, you know, whatever. And it is so amazing when people realize they are so experienced and they have such expertise already. They just didn't look at it from that perspective. They just think, I don't know how to run a business. Well, that's secondary. You know, it's what service will you provide? And that's the thing that will carry you through. So.
Exactly.
Exercise, yeah.
Cool.
So that's just awesome. I know that we're coming up to the top of our time here. So this was amazing, of course. And so what I want to get from you is where people can go to learn more about you, maybe learn about the university, what you want to tell them to do next. What was the one thing that they should do next?
Yeah. So again, VA Classroom is a training institute for virtual assistants. That's all we do. We recognize we're just, as you look at this graphic, we're just one piece of it. We don't assume that we are the key. You know, we don't present ourselves as the key to your success, but we are a part of it. And one of the ways we do that is through our new, I should say new university, in the sense that it's a fully new, beautifully designed new platform and learning management system that we have. And so in our university, we have really designed our courses around those 6 tracks that I just talked to you about. And so you can learn, the track that you need at any given time. And the way we've designed it is we have 3 intakes every year. So we have the next intake's coming up in January 2017. We have one and then in May and then one in September. So only 3 times a year can you actually enroll in our university. We have over 40 certification courses and programs across these 6 tracks that you can access, as well as things like a Facebook group. We've got interviews with successful VAs. We do a monthly skill workshop that's actually live, either myself or one of our expert trainers. And so it's a place for you to develop skills across the areas that you're either interested in or that you need to learn. We've had many students that come in and say, listen, I never thought that I would have to know Infusionsoft, but I've got this great client and they need help. They want to use Infusionsoft and they need help. And so, we recognized that we needed to bring a trainer in to do Infusionsoft training. So the cool thing about VA Classroom is that we have all the courses are really geared to in-demand areas. So we've got training in WordPress. We've got training in Infusionsoft. We've got training in how to support e-commerce clients, setting up e-commerce stores. We've got training in becoming a product launch VA. So being able to manage all the moving parts of a product launch. As Tracy said, our three of our most popular programs is social media, our social media VA program, our internet marketing VA program, and our virtual events program. All of them built around those tracks that we talked about. So I highly encourage you to check us out. We're going to be opening registration again in January. Usually we only open it for about a week. And we already have a pretty significant waiting list of people that are ready to come in. So it's a great time for you to definitely check that out. And if you're wanting to get notified, you can just go to vaclassroom.com, join one of our lists, just opt in, or you can actually go to the university page. You'll see a university tab, and there's a big button that says join the wait list, join the notification list. And that will get you on a list so that you make sure that when we're actually starting registration. So that's something for you to be thinking about as you head into January.
That is awesome, and the timing couldn't be better. Of course, there's lots of time to check it out and to really start to think about some of the things that Craig talked about today. Start to do the little exercise to really see your own skill level and really see your own value and start making that mindset shift and look forward to the new year for sure. So I want to thank you again, Craig, so much for being with us today. I really appreciate it. I know that a lot of people within CAVA and GAVA already know who you are. You've been around a long time, and you're an excellent resource for our industry, that's for sure. And I just want to thank you again for being with us, and hope you have a great day.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good to be with you, Tracy.
Okay, take care.